Let's talk about Teams. So in this session, we're going to talk a bit about Microsoft Teams Room certifications. So small, medium, large, extra large, maybe huddle rooms.
Yeah.
And I by purpose set me in the middle, so you're not fighting against each other.
Yeah.
So we had the discussion before we started the recording about what are important for a meeting room. How do we actually decide which device should be into that specific room? So how do you do it?
Normally we have the certification of the room size of the equipment from Microsoft, but sometimes the customer is they're not willing to invest that much. So sometimes they try it out, and it also depends on how the acoustic is in the room. Let me tell you this: it's different from side to side, if you can say it like that. But I rather prefer that you could have like a people number on the small rooms certification and the medium rooms and the large rooms, because we see more small rooms. But even though it's a small room, it could be a big room, but with a small table inside, right? So I rather prefer you had on the people side, people count of how many there was in the room, but.
I mean, one very important thing is here that Michael are having two different backgrounds. I'm coming before advising the customers, talking about the end customers, how to design and all that stuff, follow the Microsoft guidelines 100%. That's like my Bible. Where, I mean, Michael are coming out after selling it and help do all the integration and installing it, and not with a screwdriver yourself.
No, but I'm also advising on it, and normally I will advise actually sometimes going a room. It could sometimes benefit of a larger system, a large size system, but it depends on the budget from the customer.
Again, budget is very important, but I really love that I have some kind of framework that I can go in and say, this is the sites that I'm working with. Microsoft have certified, so I know that if we are 6.1 meters, then we know that this is a middle space and we can have those components. They're certified. We know the microphone can pick up. We know the video can collect. And I know there are some manufacturers that are a little sketchy about it. We shouldn't talk about that, but I have some guidelines that I can follow. And that's kind of important. And again, then you can have the discussion with the customer saying, okay, if you are around 6 meters, you know that you're certified this room to 6.1, but if we go up to a large room equipment, then you're guaranteed again, and that's where the budget is coming in. But it just gives me some really nice guidelines to the room size, what cameras and so on. If you put 5 people or if you put 12 people into the same room, I know that the mic have the capacity to pick up in those square meters. And of course not means, I mean, the one where say a big room with a small table, that's kind of a different scenario. I know that's one we discussed, and I agree but I'm really enjoying having those guidelines.
I totally agree. It's really nice guidelines, but I would also love to have, because if we're talking the bars, the audio video bars,
all in one, is that?
Yeah, all in one. It would be nice if I knew the certification was above the screen or under the screen, which height it was, because then it was actually a complete setup. Then I knew which way to follow, because some customer wants to have it above the bar, even though it's not always recommended. Sometimes they want it underneath, and then it will actually catch the lady's legs underneath the table.
The problem here is that I would love to have a complete certified room. As you're saying, where you have the screen.
Exactly, that's the thing.
You have certified height, you have everything. The only problem I see is that we already know, and as a manufacturer probably can agree with that, the certification process is long for Microsoft. And not to talk about certification process, but the manufacturer is sending in some hardware that a third-party vendor is testing on behalf of Microsoft. Microsoft are getting report and say, we can improve on that.
There's a whole process about it.
And that process, if we need to have certified room for that as well, I think that'll just completely kill.
I agree, but screen size is diagonal, and it's levels in size, right? So you have the sizing. So let's say a small room will not be a certified room above, let's say, 55 inch. That could easily be, right? So maybe it would be nice if Microsoft did put some
More guidelines.
More guidelines
Guidelines would be better because then it's like when we are certifying, we're aiming at having a room that looks like this.
Yes, exactly.
It's not because we're putting our certified seal on it and saying it's because you need to have a 55 or whatever, 43 inch, whatever. But yeah, I agree.
Because
guidelines for a basic, what is a huddle room, what is a...
exactly, because it could also be now that Microsoft have brought this... what's it called? Shared device license with bring your own
devices.
Device.
That puts a different aspect
because
to it.
some people they will bring in a really large screen, right? And they will just run with a small video bar underneath that bring your own device.
Yeah.
And is that really good solution? No, probably not.
Bring your own devices.
But
that's a whole new topic.
But
I mean, I think the most important thing is that if you have a small meeting room, then often people tend to put like too small a device in to the same room.
That is the problem. It's
it worked in this small meeting room, then I'm going to put the same device into a large meeting room.
Yeah.
Would it work? Yes. Would it be a great experience? No, definitely not. So looking at the team certifications actually do make sense, even though I struggle a bit with how long time it takes with Microsoft and how much it costs. But if you have a small meeting room or medium or large room, if you take a device that is certified within that room, I would say then you are... you could never be 100% sure, but then you're sure that this device would perform in a meeting room.
With a decent acoustic and a decent...
I totally agree on this. No problem at all. But it would be nice to have something about actually more or less the screen size, even the tabling.
Just have some guidelines.
Reverbing times, stuff like that.
So,
best effort, maybe.
Best practice, or maybe
because there's nothing worse.
Guide.
You mentioned it and say you have the small camera, and you see those small huddle room where you have like a nothing wrong with Logitech, but a Logitech Brio with a USB bring your own device kit, and then you have a Jabra speaker on the desk and you plug it in. So and just having to go out to bigger meeting rooms, and they're not designed for that.
No.
It's something that you want to do, and so
a lot of peripherals on the table is not always a good thing if you have more cables than you actually have connections on your laptop. So
that's back to taking a device that are not supposed to be in that room. So that would be like if you take a webcam and a small speaker phone, POC, whatever brand it is. If you put into a meeting room, yes, it would work.
Yeah.
But no, it would not be a great experience.
Exactly.
And I think like with hybrid work and now how important it is with hybrid work, like Microsoft is saying it's important to be seen and heard and then collaborate. Yeah, but we don't want to collaborate if we can't see and hear them. So the most important thing is basically, first of all, the audio, then video, then collaboration.
And I would actually put them in another order that I would say collaboration before video. Nowadays, when we have our hybrid working, we are sending content and so on. Because and the reason why I'm saying that is that video feeds today are so good, so we don't have, of course, older product, but pretty much all meetings I'm sitting in now, the video is that good, so we expect it to work. So
I'm really curious about this bring your own device thing. How will it affect that more or less the laptop is on Wi-Fi? Would it be possible to bring in a docking station in between? Would it then be in the portal? Would it see the end product or would it see the docking station? There's many things.
You got something about free seating versus bring your own device. So if you have the camera set up, I mean, just so everybody is aware, if you have a device, you plug it in 2 times on the same tenant, it will be registered as a potential bring your own device. So if you have a free seating desk with your dock, with cameras and everything on it,
which one will it take? I have plenty of questions about it. I have not tried it yet. So
no, as I understand, it will take. So like Carsten is saying too, that is actually also the name or the number that Microsoft brought out in the start. I actually think they're going to change that to 5.
It makes perfect sense because
if you're 2 persons, it could end up in a mess.
Speakerphone you give to a colleague, then it's not a bring your own device.
No, exactly. So let's say if it's 5, more than 5 people are connecting to the same peripherals, then it will show up in the Pro Portal being able to be recognized as a room. So if you add a shared device license to that one, then you would actually be able not to manage it, but more to monitor the device. I think from Microsoft perspective, it makes sense if they see bring your own device rooms that are highly used, then it might make sense to bring in a Teams rooms in that room instead.
Yeah, but see for free desk where you have some docks and so on where you have to set up. That could be an interesting way of doing it. Yeah,
indeed.
And you can maybe do some management task. And to be honest, I don't know about places, but it could be something.
But my challenge of this free seating desk is I will have so many resources in when I need to book a table or something. Places need to come in and bring me something more agile. Okay, you're nearby this desk.
Go there, sit down, enjoy your day.
Exactly. Put some AI on top of it so I know where to go, right?
Yeah.
So
Exactly. I'm going to this location tomorrow. Find me a place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And nothing more.
Yeah.
And then it should automatically go in and scan and see how many meetings do I actually have.
That's my wish list, right?
So just know my day tomorrow and find me the best seat.
Yeah. So let's go back to a bit about that we talked about in the start about certification.
Yeah.
Where should people go? I mean, of course they can reach out to their preferred reseller to get the information.
Microsoft have a super nice setup also.
They have and actually even on the Microsoft web page where you're actually able to see the different vendors' products in different categories.
Yeah.
It's quite easy to see there, but there's also a slide deck. I at least have a slide deck of the different types of rooms.
So if you sit out there, coal mine.
And the important thing is, and I think we should actually mention it because the manufacturers like Poly, for example, or some of the other have created some perfect sites where you come in and say, what is my room, what is my requirement, what do I need, and then they guide you. Of course, they are showing their own products, which makes perfect sense, but you get an idea where you are at. So I mean,
and you will see the peripherals that you'll be able to add on to the room. So maybe a content camera, maybe a microphone for the ceiling. So it's all about looking at the manufacturer's products, and the manufacturers normally also have the certification on the bundle itself because
exactly. So you might find some pieces that you can add afterwards that are not supported. Don't do that. But go for the supported one. Go for the one that has been certified and we got the Teams stamp on and so on. That's my recommendation. I know, and that's where you probably are sitting it because you're solving some problems that I don't have to. so because it's easier.
But I agree. Totally agree.
Try as much as possible get it.
But as we saw at ISE, there's also coming more vendors of cameras and speakers that's certified and microphones. So
at least go with a certified product.
Yeah.
I mean, camera-wise, that will definitely bring a more secure solution to make sure that it actually works in that size of a room. But most important of all, audio.
Yeah.
Have definitely a certified audio solution.
Indeed.
Otherwise, it will bring a lot of troubles into the meeting room.
And it might work. You might be able to have a great POC. I've seen that a lot of times. But it works. Yeah, but Microsoft is changing something. You don't have to.
You're screwed.
Update. I mean, you just don't go that way. I mean, go with something.
But it's one of the nicest calls to get from a customer. You are totally right. Can you come here and fix it for me? So it's one of the best ones.
And it has to work by this afternoon. We got a very important meeting.
That's true. That's another part of it. So.
Yeah. But if you sit out there and you want to know which devices are certified within a certain category of small, medium, or large, go to aka.ms/Teams devices.
Yeah.
There you can go and see everything. And if you get asked if you should stay in your own country or go to the US side, I would always choose US side.
Yeah, me too.
That seems to be the most updated version.
Yeah.
And there you can kind of do different selections on which vendor that you want to look at and which size of the room that you want to look at. And that will be your proof of this is Team certified for that specific room that you want to equip.
If you want to follow up, I mean, you can recheck once in a while what's going on in there, but Microsoft on the monthly Teams updates are also saying which new devices are being certified.
Exactly.
So that's also a nice newsletter to be on top of and see, okay, hey, now they have created something or they have made this bundle is certified.
So if I find the link for aka.ms Teams devices, you'll find the other one. And then we post the links.
Every month we will.
Sure. Okay, but thank you so much for watching this Let's Talk About Teams. If you like videos like this, please follow and subscribe and all the fancy stuff. It's good fun to be here, and we really enjoy that you're watching as well.